Somebody say, you don't know what I've been through. And I'm not getting ready to let the way you look at me dictate to me how I should praise God. I said, I'm not letting the way you look at me dictate to me how I should bless God. You weren't there, you don't know when, or you don't know where, but God has been good. All right, don't play with it, come on.
Hello, my name is Elder Edgar Petey Madison Jr. from St. Louis, Missouri, and I am the jurisdictional minister of music for the Eastern Missouri First Jurisdiction of the C.o.g.i.c, also serving as vice president of the International Music Department of the C.o.g.i.c.
Maybe I missed you. I said, you can't talk about being sanctified with your mouth, and every now and then don't clap your hands, don't pat your feet, every now and then don't shout. You can't even play with the shout, because the more that you start thinking about how good God has been to you, sometimes it throws you in overdrive.
Prior to me becoming the vice president of the International Music Department, I serve as the director of finance for the International Music Department.
So who held the position that you hold now prior to?
The person that held the position as the finance chairman was Dr. Richard Mr. Clean White, who is now bishop and moved on into another area, and he saw fit that I took over that position after working with him for about 20 years.
Now what about your new position? Who held that before you?
Well, my new position as vice president of the International Music Department, I actually done the work for several vice presidents, and just so happened this term and this tenure, they saw fit to move me up and elevate me. But there were several vice presidents in the person of Sister Betty Ransom Nelson, Dr. Dorinda Clark Cole. That's just to name a few.
So, I mean, like, what does your job entail? What does the position entail?
My position entail at this time, I'm vice president, and we have 4 vice presidents. Barbara Jackson from out of Memphis, Tennessee, Barbara Jackson Sago, may I say. Also, Dr. Ricky Payton out of Washington, D.C., and Kim Burrell. All of us have areas that we're covering for as vice president is concerned. It's broke up into 4 different departments. My area for as vice president, I'm over the finance and the logistics, also special services.
So does it take a lot of your time, or?
A whole lot of my time, but I thank God for it, because some doors I never dreamed of going in, God has allowed me and afforded me to go in, not only just to minister, but also to do workshops.
So, I mean, has anything changed for you since you've taken on this new position?
Yes, some of the things have changed for us. My travel schedule, I have to make sure that my travel schedule with the International Music Department fits in with my ministry schedule, because the Lord has opened many doors for me in ministry. But I'm enjoying this trip. Our Holy Convocation, after 102 years being in Memphis, Tennessee, has come or is on its way to St. Louis for our 103rd Holy Convocation. People from all over the world will be here in St. Louis. Some over 50, 60,000 people will be here. I'm excited. It has caused a lot of work for us in the area to be good hosts. And then we're more so pulling up because of the tension that it has caused with us moving out of familiar territory and coming into an unfamiliar place. But I love what God is doing in this area with us finally getting a new bishop. Bishop Blake has stepped up to the plate and took the pressure and the complaints of moving it. And what better place would he come to the Show Me State of Missouri? And we're excited about them coming to St. Louis. And I'm excited because this is my first tenure in office as vice president. Also, this is my first year to actually be able to host the international meeting in St. Louis, and I'm looking for all the singers, regardless of the denomination, to come and participate with us, because I want them to show them in the Church of God in Christ that we have a kinship in ministry in St. Louis, regardless of the denomination, we come together for one purpose, and that one purpose in mind, and that's to give God the glory.
Now, what is the convocation all about? What goes on?
Our Holy Convocation is fellowship, training, and also we have a lot of prayer going on. And as far as the music industry is concerned, some of your most phenomenal recording artists are out of the Church of God in Christ, or have been a part of the Church of God in Christ. They're all on one ground in one territory. During that week, you see some of the artists just walking around, some of the ones you desire to go up to sometime, but you can't get to them. You see them walking around in the convention. You're able to walk up to them and speak to them and what have you. They'll be right here in St. Louis.
So does it go on for a day, 2 days, 3 days? How does it go?
It actually goes on for 10 days. A course of 10 days. We kick off with the pre-musical for the convention, which is a local service with our tri-jurisdictional choirs in the area. Some artists come in to be a part of that, and then all week long we have different services going on, and then our official day, which will be that following Sunday, which is one service you don't want to miss. I mean, people from all over the country, other persuasions. You have a Paul Martin, a Clay Evans, some of the big name speakers and stuff all come, and they're at our official day, just sitting there like regular members, a part of the Church of God in Christ. And that's because we have so much to offer. And when you say Church of God in Christ, people are looking for something that they can pattern after.
So where is going to be the main headquarters, main meeting place?
Our main meeting place will be at the St. Louis America Center downtown, and on Sunday our official day service will be at the Edward Jones Dome.
And did you get a date?
Our dates are November the 19th throughout that week.
Now, have you started feeling the pressure yet for preparing?
Yes, we're starting to feel pressure already. As soon as November of '09, we're starting to feel the pressure. And we just left out of Memphis, Tennessee with the informational meeting. The hotels are filling up, which we're very excited about. We were in Memphis, and downtown Memphis might have about 5 to 7 hotels downtown. The rest of them are on the outskirts. St. Louis has 19 hotels downtown. So we're excited about that because we were the city that was picked because of our perimeters and our diagram of our city. And I think St. Louis is getting excited about it coming.
Now, do you see any disadvantages for leaving Memphis, coming to St. Louis? Anything can you see?
I don't see any disadvantage for them coming to St. Louis, but I see an advantage because we have been used so much in Memphis till they know that we need the space, so whatever they was willing to offer us, that's what we had to take. But I think the economy in Memphis is going to feel the pressure.
All right, if you love God, clap your hands in this house. I said, if you love God, clap your hands like you love Him.
Try to make sure that when I'm in any kind of interview talking about the music of the International Music Park, I never can forget Dr. Mattie Mouse Clark, who gave me my start. And when we started, it wasn't a very good start because she was getting on me about something. But she told me, she said she always seen that there was something in me. And one day, if I stay humble in my spirit, God has a place for me in this church. And I've seen myself not ride the elevator, but come up on the steps in this church. And also I'm talking about Dr. Mattie Mouse Clark, who favored me to work in this department. I've come through several and worked with several different presidents of our department. Thank God I work with all 4 of them that has ever been in office, starting with Dr. Mattie Mouse Clark until her demising in 1994. From that, I worked with Sister Lavonia Whitley, who was our national president out of Chicago, Illinois. And from there, I worked with Professor Iris Stevenson out of Los Angeles, California. And I worked with her several years before she became the national president. She used to come and do workshops for us. And then up to this present day, working with the Dr. Judith Alistair, praise and worship leader extraordinaire. It has been a blessing and a privilege of mine to serve all 4 of these ladies in the position of president.
Time out for you allowing the devil to wear you out.
I'd like to give a shout out to one of the world's greatest pastors and bishop, my bishop, Bishop R.J. Ward, your radio minister.